Okay, so we found him. Let's go talk to Throgmorton. Before I do that though, can I? Bar owner. Lewis was the Innsmouther that killed Albert. Maybe hiding at the bar in Oak Park. There we go, okay. Let's talk about this first.
Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures. And they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood.
Okay,
I commissioned
so
a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
or an axe.
I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no.
I am sorry, Mr. Throgmorton, sir.
It. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert.
Damn,
Tell me
that
you
sucks.
know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes. Make him beg for mercy.
I completely understand that.
Seems like he was a fisherman by the name of Lewis. He had a gun and pursued Albert after he fled the house.
Lewis it is, then. What do you know of him?
Turns out you were right. He's an Innsmouther.
Those filthy scum have done it now. When I'm through with them, they will rue the day they dared lay a finger on a Throgmorton. Bring me
Okay,
that
calm it down.
dirtbag,
Calm it
Lewis.
down.
He and I are due a reckoning. Do this for me, and I'll help you with anything you need.
Yes, sir. I hope it's Lewis, because it might just be somebody else and then Lewis is being framed. Okay, so let's go to the bar. Come on, barkeep, you're kind of fucked here now.
What's your problem?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky.
I just want to start conversation first. I don't want to get straight into it.
Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer. Didn't I tell you to stop snooping around? Buy a drink or get out.
You did. But I found out more about Lewis Flynn.
Are they making him thicker out of town these days? I told you, I ain't saying squat. Go away.
You want him gone, I can help. You're harboring a criminal.
Robert Throgmorton hired me to investigate his son's disappearance. I found the note about your debt to Lewis near his cold, dead body. And it looks like Lewis murdered Robert's kid. You want him to come here and ask instead of me?
What?
Don't what me. At best, you're harboring a criminal. At worst, you're an accessory to murder.
What? No. I ain't done nothing.
You sure
Tell
about that?
to Mr. Throgmorton.
No. No. Throck. Lewis is upstairs. Here's the key.
Smart man.
Bam!
There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
Let's go. Okay, let's open this door.
Hey, who are you?
Oh,
What are you doing?
Jesus Christ.
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Alright. Why do you look
Start
like
at
that?
the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You
You
shot
can-
to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
Why do you...
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
Okay.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay.
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 People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
Like it.
Kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends?
I want to ask everything.
no, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouthers' bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
Good for you.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me.
I already
I
did.
know I'm in no
Oops.
position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
Think
This
about-
is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
Come
You
on,
think
you're not
the
gonna.
first person to offer me a bribe.
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Okay, let's get out. All evidence collected. Lewis was affected. Albert was murdered. Lewis may have wanted Albert dead. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous. Lewis was mentally affected. Lewis was... So my thinking behind this... it's hard because Lewis wanted Albert, or Lewis hated Albert, or the Throgmortons in general, but everybody else gave the same story about being like affected. They were like, they didn't know what was happening, and then Lewis and the other guy, Harold or whatever, I forgot his name, but the one in the house, they're both super far away, gave a very similar story. Albert was clearly strong, although I don't know if he would be strong enough to break a hole in a wall. Although he did go after Albert, one fatal shot to the head, but there was a weird monster thingy there. I don't know, part of me thinks that he wasn't in control, another part of me thinks that he knew exactly what he was doing. I'm gonna go with, not with what Lewis says. I'm gonna pretend like everything Lewis said was a lie. I'm gonna go with what the other guy said. Which, if the other guy was telling the truth, and this isn't some big con, I'm going to say Lewis was not aware of his actions. Lewis killed Albert Throgmorton while under some sort of mental influence. He could control his actions and thus can't be blamed for Albert's death. I hope I don't regret that. Here's hoping that was the right choice. What's this? Key evidence collected. All evidence collected, all evidence collected. So I think we have to go to Throgmorton. What's the, I don't even know what the brake's for. Ooh. Alright, let's see. Let's see how this is gonna go. But see, the thing is, Throgmorton is gonna help me with my case, with the Sinking City dream thing. And if he ever finds out that I lied, then he's gonna come after me. But then Lewis also said that I'm gonna meet more Innsmelders. which means I might need them for help at some point, and they're not gonna give it to me. I think that at the end of the day, I don't know what my character's name is, but at the end of the day, he's a PI, he's a cop, and he's gotta, even though I think Lewis wasn't all there yet, or like it wasn't in control, he still did it.
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Oh, I hope I don't
Mr.
regret that.
Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Kay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
The dreams. I'm trying to find the source of my visions. I'm investigating cases of insanity.
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I need it to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
I'm assuming she was lost at sea.
Geological expedition. I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
You think the flood is...
Has
Any
your
discoveries?
investigation found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of
Oh,
His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster.
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
it's pretty suspicious.
I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
Thank
That's
you.
all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
Well, I
Sorry,
found your
Mr.
son.
Throgmorton.
Calm
Just
down.
like the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
Let's talk
What
payment.
about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port.
Why, thank
I'll
you.
also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Alright, 1 knowledge point. Alright, alright. Case complete. Let's go. New case, lost at sea. Robert Thugmorn funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria. Alright, the key to headquarters. Now, where is this headquarters? Jesus, this is like a big old map. Okay, let me see. Can I leave this spot now? I can. Let's go. Alright, let's see what shall happen. Oh. Yeah, those are some strong winds. Oh, my hat! Holy. Wait, what?